You right. Well, you right. We back in the building. What's going on, chat? Let's go. What a crazy day today, right? Man, this price action is bananas. Let's go. Charting Queen, what's up? Matter, where's Jerome? Jerome went to go visit family in the ATL. It's Friday. I was able to catch, popped in the PW stream this morning for a little bit. And yeah, I took some trades today, guys. I don't know what's going on with this market, but I think PW like paid Trump some money to basically, he was like, Trump, I'm gonna pay you some money to speak every time D-Money's on the afternoon show this week. It's been like every day, right? This week, it's crazy. This guy's like speaking with Zelensky or meeting with Zelensky right now, or it's about to happen. So I got Fox News on in the background, and that's what's happening, right? It's crazy, man. But we're gonna see if we can get some trades, guys. Obviously, we're here to make money, right? So I'm here to make money. Anyone catch that wild PW rap dance? LOL. Yeah, PW was vibing today, man. I saw that. How did I do this morning? DD flips. So I just saw that right now. So let me pull up my my screen. All right, so this is, I've been trading the Lucid straight to funded 150K accounts. Let me pull those up and show you guys like where I'm at today already. So this is these are trades from this morning, right? So let's go. So I'm up pretty good. This is actually, I think, the best besides like Monday. So I mean, that's over $7,000 in the Lucid accounts across those accounts. So my plan is basically today, we're gonna see what happens with this Trump news. I mean, this guy's been talking, I mean, you know, every day. So I'm hoping that that'll be over before the 2 o'clock candle opens, which is the open of the new 1 hour and 4 hour chart, right? So that's what my hope is. So yeah. Also, I went ahead and activated 5 of the 150K Apex funded PA accounts. I took 1 trade in those accounts already. So let me flip to those. Give me 1 second. So my thought today is to actually, I mean, I don't know, probably trade the Apex accounts. I got 5 of those activated as well. So I'm logging in right now. Anybody got any plans for the weekend? It's Friday, right? So I saw a lot of W's in the chat earlier today, in PW's on PW's show. So I know a lot of people made some money today. So what's the plan for the weekend? I'm logging in right now to my Apex accounts. Get crunk. All right, give me 1 second here. Find the. It didn't save my account info for Apex. What's going on with the background poll? You gotta ask PW that. That's some LEDs on a pole, sir. So DD flips. ABB, I got a fantasy basketball draft. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the season. I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, I saw, you know, LeBron, unfortunately, this guy's not going to play until probably December. So I'm a little disappointed about that. We don't have long, you know, he doesn't have long left, right? So this might be his last season. So trying to capitalize on watching as many games that I can catch before he's, you know, done. So I'm about to log into the Apex accounts. I got 5 of the 150Ks. I went ahead and funded those. I got to get the other 15 funded. But I'm up I think $600 on each of those accounts. So I'm up like 3,000 so far today on the Apex accounts. So B Martin 1776, Trump talks, market whips around too much, stay out. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure you've been on the streams during the power hour time frame for my show, and I think he's been on at least 3 or 4 days, right? When is he speaking? He's on right now. Says President Trump meets with Zelensky at White House. So that's currently happening. I got Fox News on behind me, so it's crazy. So I think at least probably 4 out of the 5 days this week, he's been on during my show. So let's go. All right, so I'm gonna just get these accounts queued up real quick. So yeah, next week, guys, I am gonna be. Sounds like I'm gonna be streaming both sessions. So the plan, I think, is to stream probably from like 9 to 11 or 11:30, and then come back for 1:30 to 4. Just a heads up on that. DD flips. D-Money, what job did you have before trading? So I was a store manager for Walmart for 5 years. I ran 2 stores for them, and I was a store manager for Target. I worked at Target for 10 years. Ran a couple stores for Target. So retail management background for sure. Yeah. Everyday rise, D-Money, what does it mean when there's no bottom wick on the 1 hour candle? That it could be a retest coming, right? So if we go, this is the 1 hour chart. So if you're referring to this candle, so you actually, I mean, there is a bottom wick. You gotta, I mean, price has been super bullish, right? All of my trades I took today were buys. And we had to close this previous 1 hour candle above the 14 to 50 EMA. This current candle that we're in, you had to this is what I like to see for me to know that bulls are still present. You had a push of the 1 hour candle close to the 50 EMA, forming a bottom wick, and it's pushing back up, right? So for right now, there's nothing for me in this market that's showing currently. And obviously we have Trump, speaking, but bulls are clearly in control as of right now. So My plan is to wait. I mean, we'll see what happens. Hopefully he's done by 2 o'clock, and that's the open of a new 1 hour candle and the open of a new 4 hour candle. But as of right now, I mean, it's hard to be bearish today, right? I mean, as of right now, this is the 5-minute chart. We are kind of chopping around. We're kind of stuck in this range. So I do have to be mindful of that. I'm going to go over a couple trades in a second that I took in the AM session, just to kind of recap it. Derek Fisher, nice haircut. Yeah, right. I got to get a fade this weekend, man. I got to get a cut this weekend. Skeletor 619. So you use the 14 EMA and 50 EMA as support or resistance depending on where price is at. Correct. So it's gonna be so what I like to see if price is bullish is I like to see strength above like the EMAs, right? So if I'm looking for buys, I want to see price above both the 14 and the 50 EMA. This is the 5-minute chart. So how price expanded above, you know, both EMAs, and then comes down and does a retest and then pushes higher, right? So if I just kind of scroll back, this is the pretty much the perfect example of kind of like what I'm talking about. Let me just kind of highlight this real quick because this will probably answer a lot of questions, to be honest. All right, so this is pre-market. This is pre-market, but it's still going to answer probably a lot of questions, right? So this is like the ideal like situation that I'm kind of talking about on the 5-minute chart. So if you notice right here, the pump basically started before obviously the market opened today at 9:30. So you had a push above the EMAs, you had an EMA cross right here, and you had the EMAs expand, right? So you notice there's a pretty big gap between the 14 and the 50 EMA. So that tells me that the bulls are in control. So you had a lot of momentum to the upside. As soon as price came back and retested the EMAs, notice there's a reaction, right off the 14 EMA, and you had an expansion higher. So that expansion higher, just as an example, if I was taking that trade right at the 14 EMA, my stop loss would be basically in the middle between the two EMAs, so I can control it. So you're talking like a 15-point stop loss. And if you notice, the expansion up was over 100 points, right? So crazy price action, and that was pre-market, but that kind of gave me a bias for when the market opened. So I did take a buy off the 5-minute ORB because we had the EMAs. They were very well spread apart, which tells me that there should be some kind of buying pressure. So I saw that before the market opened, and we actually had five-minute opening range set up here, right? This is the first 5 minutes kind of highlighted. So when we close bullish and we're above both of the EMAs, I took a buy, and my stop was below basically the 14 EMA, and I picked up some decent points on that pop, basically, right? So if you notice, that wick at the top of the candle was 36 points. So that was the first trade, and then I just kind of scalped. Peter, the inputs for the EMA is 14 and 50 EMA. 14 and 50 EMA. I'm up like 9,000 today. I'm up like roughly like 9,000. Maybe a little bit more than that, to be honest. But it's over 9,000 across all the accounts. Let's go. So chat, this is my first official week with the DMONEY show, right? So I appreciate you guys being here and supporting me. German Flores, 9K, only 9K. Yeah, right? You know what's crazy about that? Like, I'm pretty good at math, guys. You know, when you're like a store manager and like all that stuff, you have to manage a P&L. You know, you got 400 to 500 people that basically report to you, and you have to be pretty good with that kind of stuff, right? So I'm pretty good at math. So I can tell you right now that you only need to make $2,000 a week to be over $100,000 for the year, right? So just kind of keep that in mind. The average median household income in the US is like $60-something thousand. So just kind of keep that in perspective, right? My plan is, though, I am going to obviously compound, so make no mistake about it. So I'm going to get to 20 funded accounts with Apex and try to run it up, right? Of course. But I think, you know, what's cool is I think a lot of traders that tune into the DMONEY show, like maybe they're trying to get to a first payout, maybe they're trying to be a better trader, whatever the situation is, right? So profit is profit, guys. You got to put everything in context sometimes. So Mario R, let's go. Charting Queen, DMONEY, I'm trading 10 PAs. Hey, nice. Yeah, so I have 5 of the 150Ks with Apex, and then I got 5 of the Lucids right now. So I have 10 as well, but I'm going to get 20. I'm going to get the other 15 with Apex funded, so I'll be at 25. That'll be 25 accounts. So I'm just kind of waiting, guys. If you tuned in or been tuning in, even during the AM sessions when I was with PW, I wait for the current. I'm waiting for this current 1 hour candle to close. This is the 1 hour chart. So I'm not gonna, rush into any kind of setup. And you got Trump, talking and all that stuff. It basically right now it turns in kind of turns into a news trade, right? I mean, to be honest. So I'm gonna be patient. I'm gonna wait for this 1 hour candle to close. It is bearish. This is the current 4 hour chart. So there's some indecision going on. We've been kind of stuck. If you notice, the wick at the top and the bottom of the 4 hour candle is roughly the same, right? It looks almost the same length. So and what I'm kind of saying, right? So you got a 100-point wick to the upside on this current 4 hour candle, and you got 145-point wick to the downside. So being patient, right? What happened to my hair? I love the new look. Yeah, that's Jerome, right? So Jerome had to go back to ATL. Jerome got 8 kids with 8 different baby mamas. He had to go back. He told me he'll be making another appearance, so. Why following your trade entry, there's a lag, and by the time I take it, it's already late. How to rectify that situation? Yeah, guys, like we live stream. There's always a lag time, maybe 5-10 seconds. I can't do anything about that, right? So I'm basically kind of explaining my thought process a lot of times, especially off the higher time frame, and I'm kind of explaining what I'm looking for before I enter a trade. So my answer to that is continue to tune in, and you'll definitely pick up on how I trade, for sure. All right, so D, to confirm your bias, you waited out the 1 hour to close and then go to the 5 minute to measure to stop it and enter. Yeah, so I'm always cautious of the higher time frame, right? We've been consolidating right now. We're kind of stuck in this range, and that's probably because Trump is speaking. And we're so close to the close of a 1 hour candle, which is a higher time frame candle, as well as the 4 hour. So I'm going to be patient, right? Like, I'm going to be patient with Trump speaking. I'm going to let the market kind of set up and give me more information before I hop into a trade. Trading in the afternoon is a little different than trading in the morning. So if I'm trading the 9:30 open, I'll wait for the 5-minute ORB, and then I'll try to see if price has momentum to either direction, and then I'll try to, maybe I'll take a trade off of that, right? But this is not the US session. This is a lower volume session. And when you have Trump speaking, there's no need to jump into a trade. I'm going to wait for a clear setup. So hopefully that makes sense, what I'm saying. So, but yeah, I'll at least wait for the new 4-hour candle to open, which is going to open in about 9 minutes. And I'll see what kind of, how it opens, how this current 4-hour candle closes. That's going to give me more information, right? So I'll have more information to go off of, and then I'll go from there. So yeah, I'm just gonna, let me log into these Apex accounts, get that queued up. Give me 1 second here. ORB, opening range break, basically, right? So I'm just waiting for the market to, so if I'm trading the US open, I'm waiting for the first 5 minutes. First 5-minute candle to actually close. I map out the high and the low of the first 5-minute candle, and if it's above or below an EMA and there's a cross that already formed and the EMAs are spread out, a lot of times price will trend in that direction. So yeah, if you tune in next week, I will be trading the US open session, right? The AM session, as well as the afternoon session. So hopefully I'll get some of those trades, and you'll be able to see exactly what I'm referring to. All right, so log into this. All right, so is anybody having a hard time hearing me on the mic? So I just saw that somebody saying the mic is low. All right, let me turn it up a little bit. All right, is that better? All right, so I just turned it up. So yeah, let me know if I need to. I normally speak kind of loud, guys. So let me know if it's all right. Mic is perfect. All right, thanks. All right, so let me just set this up really quick. All right, so I see prices pushing higher, right? So Trump is still talking. You got about 6 minutes left for this higher time frame candle to close out. All right, so let me just select this. All right, so this is I'm logged into the Apex accounts. Hold on 1 second. Richie, we love you always. Hey, I appreciate the support. I don't take it for granted, honestly. Sair, D-Money, I thought you map out previous day high and low. Yeah, that's mapped out on my chart as well. That's what those two, you see those two lines on the chart? So that 25,181 area, it's not perfect, but it's because I didn't like line it up exactly because I know that we're going to trade. So I'll have it mapped out in a second. But yeah, I do that as well. All right, so this is the PAs, guys. This is the Apex PAs. So I think I took like 2 trades on those. I just got those activated today. So like I said, yeah, I'm up. It's over 9K on the day so far for sure. So my plan is for today is to trade these accounts. I'm up over 1,000 each account, and the Lucid account and the other accounts up like 2,000 something, I think. So I'm up over 9K, but I'm gonna try to, my goal with these is to run it up, and then I gotta get those other 15 funded. I am a little frustrated because, to be honest, I think it was either Tuesday or Wednesday, I didn't log out and I went home and the next day traded the US session and should have had all 20 Apex accounts funded. So that was my fault. So it happens, I guess. All right, you'll make that, D. I know you will. Hey, Skeletor, I appreciate that. Can you give my girl a shout out? Her name is Talia. We always watch. She's a big fan. Hey, LXG. Hey, I appreciate that. What up? Shout out to Talia. Thanks for tuning in. Dominican trader, bring it to buffer zone, then you can talk about P&L. So even at buffer zone, that's not a payout, right? So I'm not sure what you mean by that, but you know, but like I've had accounts, like I'm transparent, guys. Like I've had accounts a couple $100 from payout. Like not even forget about buffer zone, and I've blown the accounts. Like I'm gonna be transparent, right? I keep it real. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. So, but buffer zone doesn't mean much either, right? Because you're past the trailing drawdown if that's what you're referring to if you're talking about Apex. But there's prop firms out there that don't have trailing drawdown. So I'm not quite sure what you're implying there, but. All right, so 1 minute left for this current higher time frame candle to close out. What up, bro? James, what's up, man? Tennessee Rob, D-Money, that boy good. Hey, I appreciate it. Yeah, yeah, I'm not gonna, like, guys, I'm gonna keep it real with you guys, right? Like 90% of traders, like the stat is, everybody knows that. I think over 90% of traders don't make it to a payout, right? So my goal, guys, is to be the best trader that I can be. I'm honored to be able to live stream and have my own show on PW's channel. Like for me, it's a dream come true, right? Am I a perfect trader? Absolutely not. Right, I'm gonna take losing trades. I'm gonna, that's life, right? So, all right. So that candle closed. 4-hour candle closed bullish. Small wick at the top. Trump is speaking right now, so I'm kind of being mindful of that. I'm gonna wait for probably the first 5-minute candle to form. LT Sky here for D-Money support. Doing great, homie. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Thanks. Mazur D, I've passed 400 plus accounts, never hear the payout. That's that, right? Yeah, for getting funded, like guys, and you'll hear me say this a lot, like getting funded, that's just the start. Like that's not, all it takes is one bad tilt day and that account's gone, right? Buffer or no buffer. Like, I mean, that, you know. Skeletor 619, D, congrats on your first week and many more to come. Let's go, D. Hey, I appreciate that, man. All right, what am I looking for, guys? Well, I would prefer for Trump to stop speaking, to be honest. All right, this is the 1 minute, this is the 1 hour chart. Sorry, this is the 1 hour chart, and it closed as a bullish pin bar, which for me is very bullish. But I would like price to come down and basically do a retest of these lows and then push up, right? So I would like to see price form some kind of bottom wick. Right now it has no bottom wick, so I would like to see price come down and kind of do a retest down here so I can kind of get a better idea of where my stop needs to be to join the party pushing up higher. Right now it's just shooting straight up with no bottom wick, and Trump is talking, right? Because I see it behind me. So, and we're in the first 5 minute candle of the 1 hour, the new 1 hour and 4 hour chart. So just trying to see if price is going to pick a direction here, right? We are above both EMAs, which is great, but right now we don't have any kind of retest, and with Trump talking, like, I'm just going to be a little cautious. Daniel Crowley, yo D, come fishing with us in West Palm Beach on us Bulldog fishing charters. Hey man, I would love to check that out. I hope PW invites me to do some fishing as well. So might have to take you up on that, brother. Trading strategies. D-Money, what's your routine for avoiding tilt? No trader will last the long haul without one. Enjoying the stream, sir. Hey, kind of like what I just talked about. So sticking to whatever your strategy is and not having FOMO, which is fear of missing out. All right, so it could be frustrating. So yesterday, I think, is a good example. If you were on the stream, right at the open of the new 1 hour candle, price pretty much ran and dropped without me, and I had to wait for my setup, right? To be honest. And a lot of times that's frustrating, and I didn't always trade like that. So what I would do is, if I saw price moving in one direction, I would just get in because I'm like, oh, it's gonna leave without me. And then what would happen? Most of the time, price would do a retest before continuing. If it was before continuing higher, it would always do a retest, and I would end up getting stopped out. So I learned basically to be more patient just by kind of utilizing the higher time frame and taking the same setups over and over, right? And being okay with missing moves. Like this right here for me, like previous 1 hour candles wick is 77 or 75 points roughly. So I would like to see some kind of retest down here before getting long, because if I get long up here, like, where's my stop loss logically gonna be, right? So the way that I trade, my stop loss would have to be close to the EMA, right? From here, like, or at least the body of this candle. So if I got in up here, my stop loss right away is like almost 50 points. I don't want to risk that much, right? I want to retest down here, and I want to see like it hold and start rejecting back to the upside so I can join, right? I'm not interested in having large stop loss. So Hunter 3, Trump has been speaking every day. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm telling you, he's been speaking, I feel like, every day in the afternoon during the D-Money show for sure, right? So and trust me, guys, like, I think I only took, in full transparency, right? I only took one trade yesterday. It was a winning trade. and I made like $1,800 or something on a day, but it is frustrating. But what else am I gonna do, right? The guy's speaking every day. He's literally talking still right now. So is a trade gonna happen? It could. But as of right now, we're kind of stuck in this range. So if we get a breakout, if we break above these highs, that 973 area, and come back and do a retest, then maybe, you know, I'll probably try to get in. But this candle just opened 6 minutes ago, right? The 1 hour candle has only been open 6 minutes. So I'm gonna be a little patient, right? What EMAs do I have? The 14 and the 50 EMA. Profits. Yeah, 14 and a 50 EMA. Yeah, so PW hit him hard this morning coming out the gate. One trade, $50,000. Yeah, so, and remember guys, there's more volume at the open, right? So this is a slower session, so that's why you do have to pick your spots like carefully, right? But it's like, you know, I'll put it like this: if Trump says the wrong thing, the market's gonna tank, right? And it goes obviously with it expanding higher as well. So like right now though, the way that I trade, like there's no retest yet, right? I didn't get a retest on a higher like this 1 hour candle just shot basically straight up. So like where would my stop be, right? So now that it's expanding higher and they're picking a direction, can we get out of this area? So this 973, can we close above the 973, maybe come down and do a retest, and then I'll look to go long, right? So if it breaks above 973, where's your stop? I'm gonna wait for it to come down and maybe try to test the EMAs again, and then I'll have a measured stop. But that's why I don't want to get long up here, right? Because right now, the way that I trade, my stop loss on the 5-minute chart would have to be back down here at the EMA, which is a 55-point stop. So I don't want to do that. So I'm just trying to be patient. I know some people don't like that because they want to see you take, you know, 1 million trades. Somebody on the stream, I think yesterday, said that they had took 32 trades or something for the day. We're about to rip higher. Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility. It looks like it, right? Sleepy Mocha, your white screen looks great. Don't change a thing. Yeah, some people hate it, but it's how I trade, guys, right? So no wick on this current 5-minute candle at the bottom as well. So that's a little strange that it doesn't have a bottom wick. So Janet Campbell, my EMA settings, 14 and 50 EMA. Exactly, KM, no wick on the 1 hour candle. Yeah, there's no wick. So I mean, there hasn't been a retest to the downside, right? So right now it's just been straight up. I'm always trying to measure my stop loss. That's the thing, because that used to get me in trouble, and I blew a ton of accounts, like not knowing, like basically if I get it up here, for me, in my opinion, I'm in no man's land because my stop is going to be probably 60, 70 points. But I do love, make no mistake about it, guys, I do love that this 1 hour candle, previous 1 hour candle closed basically as a bullish pin bar. That is bullish. I agree. It is. All right, so we're getting out of this range. Let me just map that out just so it's here. All right, so we put in a higher high on the this is the 5-minute chart, by the way, right? So we put in a higher high. Above it, let's see. So what am I looking to see, right? So the EMAs they're spread apart, which is good. Which means that there's some buying pressure, but I want more of a retest. So like these last two 5-minute candles, they have no wick at the bottom. No wick on this candle, no wick on this candle, right? No bottom wick. So I'm waiting for a price to hopefully give me a retest. Be able to get in cheaper, right? We'll see. Michael McClure, do you have your own YouTube channel when you're not here? So I have a YouTube channel, but to be honest, the videos on there, they're like 4 or 5 years old. So all of my content is going to be uploaded on PW Stream or shared on PW Stream or his channel. So, and then obviously just stay tuned, and you know, I'm sure there'll be more videos that I'll upload like with my strategy and like all of that stuff. So just stay tuned for that. All right, so we're breaking out. That's fine. Do I get paid from PW? Yes. Yes, I get paid from PW, guys. I'm not here. I have a daughter, guys. I'm not, right? So I have bills to pay just like everybody else. So this is a dream job, right? So if you saw, he posted a YouTube video that, you know, he offered me a position full time, right? So grateful for that. All right, so we're breaking out. I want Trump off of. I want him off, guys. I want him off, chat. All right, so this is a current 15-minute candle. No wick at the bottom as well. No wick basically means there hasn't been a retest of any kind, right, to the downside before expanding higher. We just had a straight move basically in one direction from the start of the candle, right, from the open of the candle. Typically, if you look at candles on the chart, they all have some kind of bottom and top wick, right? So not all the time, but a lot of times. All right, we're starting to pull back, kind of like what I was talking about. All right, somebody said he's off, but I see him talking behind me, so I don't know if that's a live feed or not. You know, sometimes there's a delay, but not sure. Switch off that TV set. Now I got to keep it on because I need to know when he's off, right? All right, Dirk Fisher said he's off. Sneaks said Trump's done, so I'm gonna trust you got, you know, multiple people saying that, so that's good to know. So let's see what happens here. See if I can get a retest down to join the bullish party, guys. That's what I'm waiting for. How deep of a retest? Well, we've been stuck in this range, right? All we're doing right now is we're kind of ranging. So if I play it, let me just measure this out. Give me 1 second. 943. All right. So, all right, that candle, this current 5-minute candle closed as a doji indecision. If I'm in a buy, my stop would be below 950. If it breaks below 950, I'm out, right? So, but I'm kind of waiting to see if we can, because it's not gonna give me. All right, I'm gonna get into a long. I'm in a long, guys. My stop is gonna be below this candle. If it pulls back on me, that's fine. I'll just look to re-enter a little deeper, and we might get stuck in this range, right? Because we've had issues here before, so. Yep, pulling back. This is a 30-minute chart. Thought process is we expand higher just based off of the momentum we had. We got an EMA cross. All right, so let's see. I want to see price push very quickly, right? If it starts hanging around, that's not a good sign. I want to see some expansion, maybe up to 25,000. Somebody said not loving the long here. Yeah, I mean, to each his own, right? I'm just basically playing out the fact that not every trade's gonna work out, guys, right? But I do like the EMA cross. We had expansion to the upside. I'm gonna keep it tight. Somebody said time to short. Yeah, it could. It has to hold this level to go higher, right? I mean, you're right about that. It has to hold the level, of course. But I'm just looking at the momentum that we've had. And if I don't like the price action, I can always close, right? So it's not like I'm married to a trade. Giving it a little bit more time to see if we get some expansion closer to 25,000. But if it keeps struggling, I'll probably close. All right.
Order filled.
I'm gonna close it. And it's probably gonna run now right up to 25,000, right? So, but hey, a win is a win. Yep, there it is. All right. So, and look, 25,000. Pine Tree Trader, what up? Yeah, so guys, the thing is exactly, I never got a full retest, right? So that's why I'm cautious at the level, because that was a level where it kind of struggled before, but a win is a win, right? I mean, I'm up almost $4,000 on these accounts for the day. I'm not gonna cry about it, right? A win is a win. All right, so that felt like a gamble though. All right, so if you guys have watched me trade, I use the EMAs, right? So the EMAs, there's no wick at the bottom on these candles, but we're pushing to the upside. And we had a retest of the EMA at 2 o'clock. It's respecting the EMAs, right? Price is actually expanded higher, which is telling me they want to take price higher, right? So there's nothing that showed that there were sells in play for me. I mean, so I'm not sure what you're referring to, but if you kind of continue to tune in, you're gonna see me take the same trades. There's nothing, right? And we're still going. There's right. So I'm only the way that I trade, and you know, a lot of people that are tuning in are picking up on that now. Like, for me, to be honest, I'm only looking for shorts if we're below basically both EMAs on the lower time frame. So I wouldn't even be looking for shorts unless we're below the 50 EMA and the 14 EMA. We're holding, right? We put in a kind of like a double bottom formation down here on the 5-minute chart, right? And then we pushed up. So my stop loss was actually below the previous 5-minute candle, so I had a measured stop loss. I took the trade. So Connor Rollins, bro, sold 20 seconds too early. Yeah, it happens sometimes though, right? I mean, you gotta, you know, at the end of the day, you're not gonna time every trade right. I mean, the cool part is though, is that I was able to kind of speak through why I took the trade, and it sometimes even watching it go in the direction that you kind of talked about and hit a level is better than taking a trade sometimes. Or even if you stopped out early, it still gives you confidence, right? White Fox, if you had balls to long the top, you should have balls to hold it. So holding a trade is discretionary, right? You gotta make a decision based off of what you see. I tried to give it enough time. You know, it popped right when I closed it. I mean, that happens sometimes. I'm not perfect, so. Exactly, Deborah Haynes. Yeah, so guys, in the back of my mind, the 1 hour candle never got a full retest down here, right? So I'm also mindful of that, right? So there's no wick on the bottom. I would have probably felt even better about it if I got a retest on this 1 hour candle down here and then I enter, right? Because the probability of price expanding higher, at least to form some kind of top wick, would have been better. So guys, I'm not gonna, nobody's gonna be satisfied 1,000%, right? If I didn't take a trade, then there's gonna be people in the chat that say that, oh, he hasn't taken a trade. If I close the trade early, they're gonna say that I should have held it, right? If I didn't close it and it turned into a losing trade, they're gonna say I should have, right? So I mean, that's just how it is. I'm gonna trade my way, guys. Scratch, respect, you answer everyone, even the negative. Yeah, everybody has an opinion, right? So I'm not like, guys, I'll never sit here and say that I'm the best trader out there or that I'm perfect. You know, I can be better as well, but you know, hey, I closed the trade out, it was green. Close it out early. Would I have loved to get more of the move? Absolutely, right? But I can tell you what I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna have FOMO and chase it. I can tell you that. I guess what I meant to say is that one felt too risky not to gamble. Yeah, I mean, I just basically joined the momentum and I put my stop loss below the previous candle, right? So because the reason why I'm using the higher time frame is because, right, for context, but when I go down to the lower time frame, I still want to measure my stops, right? So as long as I have a measured stop and I can see price has momentum, then, you know, I might take the trade. Because sometimes you're not going to get that retest, right? Sometimes you're not going to get, I mean, if you look at the current 1 hour candle, like, all right, so I mean, it put in basically 95 points to the upside without a retest to the downside, right? So but I saw the momentum, so I just basically put my stop below the previous 5-minute candle's low. And like I said, and I think I kind of mentioned that when I got into the trade, if it stops me out, that's fine. I can always re-enter if it's doing a retest lower. So Ace Trader, it wasn't your A+ setup, so you were a little nervous. Yeah, so that's always in the back of my mind. So I'm not gonna hold, I'm not gonna get married to it. If I don't like the price action, then I'm gonna close it, right? So Dean Bishop, D-Money kills it. Hey, I appreciate that, man. I'm just trying to make a little monies, right? Just trying to make a little monies. Tanner, you're a sniper, man. Congrats on your payouts too. So just snuck the short off the top for a final 7 points. Nice. This is risk management. I like it. Yeah, I'm gonna measure my trades, guys. I'm gonna know where my stop loss has to be, and typically
short off the top for a final 7 PTS.
Nice. So yeah, typically my stop is gonna be the majority of the time. If it's close to a 1 hour candle's wick, I'm gonna put it, you know, if it's for a buy as an example, then my stop is gonna be below the 1 hour candle's previous low if I got the retest. But I didn't get that, right? So I just basically used the 5-minute chart, the previous candle's low as a stop. Okay, let me switch this back. Oh, sorry guys. All right, so yeah, he's off. So the people want a 100K D-Money challenge. Listen, I plan to, like I said, I'm gonna get, I got 10 funded accounts right now. So I'm gonna get 20 Apex PAs, and then I'll have my 5 Lucid, and I'll probably add some more. So the goal is to run it up, right? Of course. Cold Trickle, I just want to say thank you. Watching you and using your higher time frame has helped me with patience. Just had my best day ever. $2,500 day. Your way has clicked with me and helped me wait for confirmations. Hey, congrats, man. Hey, you did all the work, right? John, just tuning in now. Any good trades? Yeah, I took a buy. I just took a buy. So I took trade. I did catch trades today during their US session, so I'm just kind of stacking what I can get now. I mean, we're at a level where the reason why, guys, also why I was kind of saying to the chat that 25,000 was probably a good take profit level is because that's a psychological level. So, and a lot of times those even numbers, so like 25,000, right? Like 24,000, whatever. A lot of times price loves to go to those levels, right? Demi, you're doing so well, D-Money. I've been trading your strategy and it's been working for me for a couple years now. Hey, happy to hear that. I appreciate the kind comments. John G, what's my win percentage? I honestly don't. There's traders out there, guys, as an example, that their win percentage is like 30-40%, but they have good risk management, so they're still profitable. Just keep that in mind, right? All right, so right now, what am I looking at? The 30-minute candle just closed with no wick at the bottom. No wick at the bottom, right? On the current 30-minute candle, are we gonna get a retest down to span higher? It remains to be seen, right? But there is some, you know, I'm not gonna. The farther we get away from the EMAs on the lower time frame, the bigger, technically, right? It's kind of like trying to measure your stop. You know, so I'm just waiting to kind of see if we'll get a deeper retest to the downside before expanding higher. That's what I would like to see. Might not always get it. Tim Hoffey, what does a no wick mean? The no wick means that basically you had a push just basically in one direction, right? Like I did mention earlier, I did like the bullish pin bar on the 1 hour chart, right? That closed. So this 1 o'clock candle that closed at 2 o'clock, I like that it was bullish. It basically had a retest with a long wick at the bottom. And a lot of times what you will see, in all honesty, is that when a higher time frame closes with a long wick at the bottom and it closes like as a bullish pin bar, a lot of times you might not get a wick on the next handle. It's just going to expand higher. And that's what happened on this, you know, that's what happened on this current 1 hour candle, right? It just pushed straight up. But ideally, this current candle would have pushed down at least to the bottom of the body of the previous 1 hour candle and like formed some kind of bottom wick and then pushed up. But we didn't get that, right? Hi, D-Money, what's the EMA, SMA settings? So I use the 14 and the 50 EMA. I don't use the SMAs, I use EMAs. EMAs, I think, are a little faster, like reacting to the chart. And I think there's more lag time on the SMAs. That's just my personal opinion. So I stick with the EMAs. D-Money, do you also trade ESYM or gold? No, I do not. I only trade NQ. Kelly, higher time frame equals higher win rate. Correct. In my case, for sure, that's correct. That's why a lot of people might be disappointed if I'm saying like, you know, hey, I've only taken one trade or two trades or whatever the case may be, you guys. But I'm using a system that works for me because when I try to trade outside of that system, I blow accounts. I'm just being honest. All right, so if I go to a smaller time frame, this is the 15-minute chart. Right now, we're starting to do a retest. So are we going to pull back? So, and if you guys think even for like PW, right? So PW strategy, he uses like flags, breakout of flags, right? You had selling pressure and then price broke out to the upside, right? And this is on the, this is a 15-minute chart. You had selling pressure, price broke out and pushed higher, right? So are we going to do the same thing? So I'm basically waiting for a retest. I want to see if price is going to come back down and basically give me an entry to go higher. Just Jim, what up, D Money? What up? Have I used the daily SMA before? No, I have not. I have not. All right, so this is the. Let me get this off because that was that 5-minute range. That was that line right that we kind of drew out earlier. 179.50. All right, so somebody kind of referred to it earlier, like my process starting out. Yeah, I map out the previous candles high and low, And the reason why I do that is because when I go to the lower time frame, it's gonna be there, right? So I kind of know the range, and I also know if I'm inside of the previous daily candle, right? So right now we're still in the range of yesterday's candle. So a lot of times when you get to either the high or the low, you'll get a reaction off of those levels. So that's why I map it out. Just a routine, right? So yeah, if you haven't, guys, hit the like button. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel. I would appreciate it. I need to get 1,000 likes, chat. Let's go. Jeffrey, does Trump talk every day next week or what? Listen, I don't know like what's going on, but I'm just happy that like I said, I will be trading. I will be streaming in the morning next week as well as the afternoon, and I do feel like, and that's why it's a little harder, chat, as far as this week, because Trump is, I mean, he's been talking pretty much for the last 3 or 4 days, or tweeting or something, right? During power hour or afternoon session. So I'm looking forward to it. All right, so right now, current 30-minute candle, you did have a wick that was put into the downside, but this is the current 4-hour candle. And I don't like that there's no bottom wick. So that's why on days like this, a lot of times it turns into a scalp day, right? Or scalp session for me, because I might not get a retest down, but I'll take what I can get. So liberal transgender trades. D-Money, do you think you will have guests? Yeah, at some point I'll definitely have guests on the stream. So I had Jerome yesterday. Let's go. Timothy, hit the thumbs up, chat. Yeah, if you haven't hit the like button, guys, do me a solid. I would appreciate it. Yeah, I definitely plan to have visitors come in, like other traders at some point. So this is my first week, right? So this was you know, what I'll say is I'm definitely humbled and grateful for the opportunity to be here. And you know, you guys tuning into the stream and supporting me, right? So, but yeah, as the show grows, I'll definitely be looking forward to having some other traders come in, and it would be cool to actually talk to, you know, like I know when the CEO last week of Lucid was here, he kind of talked about possibly wanting to come stop by the stream, so that would be cool. Wayne, you and Terry had good vibes together. Yeah, Terry's cool, right? So the Sleeve DJ, excellent first week. Hey, I appreciate that, man. What is my experience so far at the BDH TLWM? Super welcoming. They've been, it's like a family, right? So I've had a super positive experience, obviously, right? I mean, I got my own show, so which is still, like, to be honest, is kind of hard to believe. So it's a very humbling thing for me. I don't take it for granted. So where can we access your trading system? Continue to tune into the live streams. For now, I think at some point, you know, there'll be some videos and stuff like that uploaded to PW's YouTube. Did I get a haircut? Yeah, I had to cut the fro, you know. So Jerome is back in the ATL, right? Jerome had I guess the guy's on the run or something from his baby mama or something. So he had to go. Mike, you're doing awesome. Ready for Monday morning with live with you. Hey, I appreciate that, man. I'm looking forward to Monday as well because there'll definitely be more trade setups. The afternoon session is, I mean, I feel like it was a pretty good week, but definitely there's been huge volatility in the morning, right? So Tyrone needs to join us. Yeah, I know, right? Let's go. Goldfinger 8, cheers D Money. Watching you and Patrick, you have converted me into a NASDAQ futures trader. Cheers. Hey, congrats to you, right? Like I said, I only trade in Q, so. Am I still continuing the power hour? Yes. So I'm going to be, next week, I'm going to be streaming both the morning session, probably until like 11 or 11:30, and then I'll do the normal stream 1:30 to 4, correct. There's a saying, you can recognize a good catch by the fact that one day the student becomes better than the coach. Show the world that you're better than PW. Hey, like, and I think you guys realize that about me. I'm a humble person. I'm grateful for the opportunity. Like I say all the time, guys, like PW didn't have to. PW is a very successful person, and he didn't have to have me here, right? So I'm super grateful. All right, so I am looking at the price action, and we're starting to kind of get a retest that I was talking about. This is the current 30-minute chart and the 15. So, all right, this is the 5-minute chart. We're starting to get some selling pressure. So I'm kind of eyeing this to see if we're going to drop below these EMAs, maybe form some kind of support and push higher, or is this going to be an expansion back to the upside here, right? So I am keeping an eye on that. We are getting close to the close of the current 1 hour candle, so that's in the back of my mind. We didn't have a wick on the bottom of this current candle. Tanner, exactly. D-Money trying to be a better trader than D-Money. You're absolutely right. I'm trying to be a better, guys, I'm just trying to be a better trader every day, right? So possible 977.50 bounce. It is possible. Like, this price action that's happening now is what I wanted to see earlier, where I would have held the trade longer, right? The retest before it bounced, but we didn't get it. So maybe this is going to be the next setup. Any weekend plans? LXG? Yeah, I'm gonna watch some football, relax, get a haircut, see what else happens, right? So yeah, guys, stop trying to pit D-Money against PW. They're different. PW wild and D-Money laid back. Both good traders trying to better themselves. Yeah, and that's all it is, guys. Like, right? Like, so everybody has to remember. So I watched PW for years before being on the stream. So I know how the chat can be sometimes and all of that stuff. And so we're, it's not going to pit us against each other. So, and like, I think I even said it yesterday, like, I think PW is the best, like, open trader that I've watched myself. So I'm definitely trying to put some of his strategies into my trading bag. So, all right, so 15 minutes left. This current 15-minute candle closed bearish. Is it going to be a deeper retest to the downside, or are we going to break out back to the upside, right? So I'm kind of watching. So if I'm in a buy, my stop will be below 970. But I'm trying to kind of see if this selling pressure is going to continue, or are we going to put in a high above this 25,014 level. So I am cautious that this was the area though, right, that we kind of struggled with, and now we broke out and we're kind of coming back, right, for a retest of that area. So, which is right below 25,000 where we're sitting right now. The real Eric, let me know when you need that cut. I have a fresh bowl ready. Hey, I'm not trying to get a bowl cut, man. Come on, man. All right, it's pushing back to the upside, it looks like, right? So yeah, the EMAs are the 14 and the 50, not the 14 and 21. So walking on aerial, yeah, it's 14 and 50 EMA. Those are the two that I use. It's a personal preference. I don't, there's no right or wrong, right? Those are the two that I use. Boozy fade, D-Money, yeah, right? Chris Westbrook, it never retests down to the 14. So if prices and momentum, all right, so I think I kind of covered this yesterday. So it probably already, if I had to guess right now, the 1 minute chart, 2 minute chart, 3 minute chart, it's already retested the 14. And if prices in heavy momentum, sometimes those lower time frames, it'll retest there and then it'll continue the expansion higher, right? But I go off the 5 minute chart. So yes, D-Money, it already retested 14. Exactly. Yeah. So I just had my win rate. I know for a fact, like I don't track it, but I know for a fact it's higher on when I use the 5 minute, because what I used to do is I used to get buried on the lower time frame, like 1 minute chart, and then wonder why. I'm like, oh, like, and then I go to the 5 minute chart, and the 5 minute chart the 5 minute chart keeps me out of fake outs more. So I stick to the 5 minute chart, right? So, all right, so 12 minutes left, or yeah, about 11 minutes and a half left on this current 1 hour candle. Is starting to wick, right? So it's starting to pull back, which means the 30 minute chart has a deep retest. So are we gonna hold this? So I'm looking to kind of, and we are at the end of 1 hour candle, but the 14 EMA on a 5 minute chart is actually at 24,970 level. So for the bulls to be back in control short term, it needs to hold this level, right? It's like if I'm an EMA trader like myself, it needs to hold this 970 level. But we are coming up to the close of the 1 hour candle as well. And this candle's struggling, right? This 5 minute candle is pretty much like a doji because you got a long wick at the top and the bottom. So there's some indecision. People want to see someone take 5,000 trades a day and catch every single pivot and change of direction on a 10-second chart. LOL, so unrealistic. Yeah, like guys, that's not my trading style, right? I can only trade how I trade. I'm trying to get these accounts to pay out, so I'm gonna trade them, how I trade it, right? All right, so can we hold this 978 level? I'm waiting, right, to kind of see if we can hold it. I do like the push up here. I'm gonna take a buy.
Filled.
My stop is 978. If it stops me out, that's fine, guys. But we've been holding these levels, right? So I'm just playing into that. Seeing if we can get more expansion back to the upside. If not, that's fine. I'll be out, like if it breaks this 978 level, so I'm not worried. Ideally, to take profit, if it works out, would be probably, you know, this 22 or 25 level, but we'll see if it gives it to me or not, right? And I'll probably be out if it breaks and puts in a new low below like 988. I'll probably be out of the trade. So that's less than 20 points. I'm not gonna chase it because we're going into a new 1 hour candle, so that's fine. I can always re-enter, and it's rejecting, right? So let's see. Yeah, it's not, doesn't have strength anymore, right? It's looking a little weak. So I'm gonna close it.
Order filled.
And then I'll wait for the close of the 1 hour candle. So I was in profit for a little bit, by a little, but it wasn't anything crazy, right? So right now we're just kind of hanging out in this area. So this is the 5-minute chart. So the thought process is that we would expand higher based off of us kind of holding this 14 EMA. But, and now it's starting to push back up, right? That's life. Somebody said they're still in a buy. Yeah, I mean, you can be. I mean, if that's discretionary, right? I just don't like, I mean, like I said, 978 is my line in the sand, but we've already put in a bottom wick on this current 5-minute candle, so I wanted to see more expansion to the upside right away, right? That's just how I trade. I mean, maybe it takes a little longer and it's pushing now. So I'm gonna try it again.
Order filled.
978 is my stop, right? So it's pretty much the same identical trade, but if it doesn't work, that's fine. But I am cautious because we're going into the close of a candle, but we've held the 14 EMA, right? Which is my line in the sand. If it 978 is my stop on this. It's trying to see if we can get momentum to the upside to take out this 25, 28 level. That's what I want, but you don't always get what you want, right? About 6 minutes left in this 1 hour candle, so I'm cautious of that. And a lot of times, guys, yeah, like majority of the time, I don't even take a trade when we're in the last few minutes of a candle, but we've been holding this. We had a retest down, so I'm trying to get the push up, right? But I can always re-enter on the next trade if I close it out based off the 1 hour candle. So just gonna see how this trade works, how it plays out. I want to see like some momentum to the upside. And we're not gonna get it, it looks like. Yeah, we're kind of ranging, guys, right? We're ranging. Yeah, it's I would love to see like an expansion, right? We had some selling pressure, price pushed down, retested the EMA, pushed up, and then it should go higher, right? That's my kind of thesis, but that's not always gonna work, right? So we'll see. Put it on, let it ride. Yeah, it's 4 minutes left on this candle. Yeah, I'm watching it because if it can't get strength here soon, then it's not good for my buy, right? Yeah. It's a struggle between the bulls and the bears, right, at this level. So we're sitting like right at that 25,000 psychological level, like kind of like area, right? We're kind of hanging out in that range. So that's also a factor. But obviously 3 o'clock is actually power hour. So we're going to see. Hey, D-Money, thought you about getting 5 more accounts to the afternoon session so you can lock your previous gains for the morning. Yeah, I'm going to be doing some of that, kind of switching it up a little bit. Yep, diversifying, right? So I do have the Lucid accounts that I haven't traded those this afternoon. They're up like what, like 6,000, 7,000, something like that. Yeah, so we're pulling back. All right, so we are. All right, let's check this out, right? So we have about 35 seconds left for this current candle to close. Yeah, the Lucid accounts, yeah, I'm up like almost 7,000. I haven't traded. I'm not trading those this session. So kind of we're not going anywhere. We're stuck, right? So I'm just kind of watching. Let's see, new 1 hour candle. All right, so we finally, all right, let's see if it's gonna push or. Let's go. All right, I'm gonna lock
Order
that in,
filled.
guys. Let's go. Nice. I like. That boy good. That boy good. That boy good. All right, so let's review that trade, guys. So, and I kind of talked about, so this, all right, this price action is exactly what I wanted. This price action is exactly what I wanted on that previous 1 hour candle, right? Because I wanted price to push down to the EMAs and actually basically hold the EMAs, which shows that buyers are stepping in, and then I basically took the buy, right? Roger, I want everybody to apologize. They said you didn't have any balls, right? Yeah, so guys, a lot of times the momentum will come at the end. So if you kind of continue to tune into the stream, a lot of times the momentum comes in at the start of a new 1 hour candle, right? Or in the last like 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes of a previous candle. And look, we're still expanding. I mean, this is, let's go. So these are the Apex accounts, right? So that's like $3,700 on the Apex accounts. Yeah, should have stayed, yeah. Either way, it's a nice trade, right? Trent, what up? Swimming, thanks again, D-Money. Hey. You did the work. So I am, yeah, exactly. It's Friday, guys. Like, I mean, I know that, you know, it's a lot of times, you know, it is Friday, guys, at the end of the day, right? Like, you got to be realistic sometimes. It is Friday. So we've had a lot of movement in the AM session and all of that stuff. And I'm basically like, when you look to the left here, the last time price was in this area, you had a little bit of resistance. So I was mindful of that. Am I going to squeeze every dollar out of it? I'm not interested in that, right? I don't need the entire move. I just need some monies. Craig, I did say when I was entering a trade. I've said it every day, every trade, right? And I literally show my screen that I'm in a trade. So I'm not sure what else I can do differently on that, but Victor Siri, have I gotten payouts? Yes, I've gotten payouts. Through Apex? Yes. D-Money, you have a high win rate since being on the stream this week. Yeah, like if I stick to my, like, so that's the thing with trading, is that if you have a routine and you stick to it, your win rate is probably going to be higher than bouncing around, right? Through different strategies. And this is basically like, this is exactly what I wanted to see earlier, right? When I kind of talked about it. I wanted price to come down to the EMAs, respect the EMAs, and then I basically try to ride it back up. Otto, D-Money, love the stream. Hey, I appreciate that, man. If you guys haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. Let's go. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Do me a solid. I appreciate it. Cherokee, great work. Thank you, D-Money. Hey. I'm just trying to make some monies, right? Sting political. How long am I gonna trade? Well, it all depends. I mean, it's 3 o'clock on a Friday, right? So I took a couple trades. I'm green, right? I'm green on my Lucid accounts. I'm up like I think 6,000 on the Lucid accounts. I'm up almost 4,000 on the Apex account. So today's a $10,000 day, right? So you have to be cautious. You have to recognize that and put everything in context, right? So three for one, I guess you're saying. That's great on a Friday. Exactly. It's great for power hour on a Friday, right? When the market moved crazy, you had Trump speaking pretty much every day this week in the afternoon, guys. Like you got to put everything in context sometimes, right? So I would love to have, more trades, but I'm trading a system, right? A strategy. So I'm gonna take the trades as they come and try to stick to it as best as possible. So. Kelly, yeah, I gotta say, I crushed this week. I have traded my own strat and threw in a couple using DMONEY strat, and it's been overall a banger week. Only I had a couple small losers all week. Love the volatility. Hey, congrats to you, Kelly. Happy to hear that. DMONEY, I see you have 1,500 watching. Damn, congrats to you, my man. Hey, Julio, I appreciate it, man. I'm humbled, so. Jeremy Garrett, awesome stream, 100. Hey, like I said, guys, I don't take this for granted. This is my dream job, and I'm happy that you guys are tuning in. I'm happy that I'm able to add value to PW's BDH network, right? So, like I said, he didn't have to give me an opportunity, so I'm grateful to be here. I mean that 1,000%, right? I don't take this for granted, so. Can you tell me about your strategy? Yeah, so basically I use the EMAs, the 14 and the 50 EMA, and what I'm looking for is the higher time frame, preferably. So, all right, what's going to be interesting for next week is it looks like we're closing, just as an example, right? To keep in mind for next week, this is the 1 hour time frame, and we're closing. It looks like there's an EMA cross on the 1 hour chart, right, to the upside. So that's bullish. So will we get a retest down and then a push up? I mean, anything's possible, but the market is definitely wants to go higher, right, based off what I'm seeing right now. So this next level, when you look up and look to the left, that 25,100 level will be the next level, right? Where the last time price was in that area up here, it put in a high and then it dropped down, right? So that's a possibility. But yeah, I use the 14 and the 50 EMA. I'm looking for EMA crosses. So if price is above the 14 and the 50 EMA on the higher time frame, which is the 1 hour and the 4 hour, then I go down to the 5-minute chart. I'm looking for the same setup, right? I want price to be above the EMAs with an EMA cross, and I'm trying to get in as close as I can to the EMAs, where my stop can be in the middle of the EMAs, right, or right below it, if I'm looking for buys and I'm taking a trade. So. Tanner Simmons, I've never seen the chat so much love. Haha, you're the chat tamer. Yeah, man, I think the chat recognizes, like I'm just being real, right? Like I'm just being me. I'm not trying to be somebody I'm not. I'm trading how I trade. That's it. So. Armando, you the man. DMONEY, keep up the good work, my boy. Hey, I appreciate that, man. CP, what asset am I trading here? So yeah, I only trade the NASDAQ, NQ, right? NQ, that's it. I don't trade gold. I don't trade ES. I don't trade any of that. All right, so 5-minute chart is still looking. We just had a bullish pin bar, right? Price came down and did a retest, and then it closed as a bullish pin bar. But this is the area where price kind of struggled before, and you had a retest down, right? So the question would be, is there going to be continuation to the upside? I'm just learning and practicing on a demo account. I'm not rich, but I hope to become profitable once I learn how to trade. Yeah, and we're as we kind of speak, we're expanding higher, right? So everybody has to start somewhere. And what I'll say is that trading. So I'm a believer that whatever you struggle with in your personal life, it's gonna impact you in trading. So if you're not patient in your personal life, you're probably not gonna be patient as a trader. You're gonna have to work on it. You're gonna have to work on it, right? Like you're gonna have to put in work to be more patient, right? And like I said, I share that all the time. What helped me is going to the higher time frame. Yeah, this thing is expanding, right? She gone. So, you know what's kind of funny, chat? So, I took multiple trades, right? So, didn't rush the process. It is what it is. But it just kind of shows you that if you're patient, like you can wait for your setup, right? But like before, what I would do is, like I said, if I saw a price running, so like as an example, like if I got in on this current green candle, but my best entry was down here at the 980 level, and I got in up here at 20,020, like that's already a 40-point stop loss, right? So it's kind of like I'm trying to get in as close as I can to the EMAs because I know my stop. If price breaks below the EMA, I don't want to be in a buy anymore, right? You have to have systems like in place, and that's what I'm trying to do. So Jerry, yo, Mr. D, hey, what's up? D Money, the higher time frame has helped me a bunch. Thank you. Hey, I'm glad to hear that. Jensen, D Money, do you like to enter before the trend crosses or wait until it has clearly crossed? So I think you're saying just like the candles themselves. No, I'm gonna wait. So price, if you notice this is the 5-minute chart, look at the width. Look how wide the two EMAs are far apart, right? So that shows me that bulls are in control if I'm trading with EMAs. So I want that to happen. So if the EMAs are very close together, like right here, so if you notice how they're close together before this push up, that means that price is kind of like consolidating, right? Or it's stuck in a range. I want price to expand in one direction. And that tells me that, okay, I'm looking at either the EMAs to enter as a retest, or I'm using the candle and the previous low as a stop loss, like whatever the case may be, right? Because every day is different, so. Jerry, I made 1,500 before 12 p.m. and took a break, but how many trades did you take today? So I took 2 trades. I took 2 to 3 trades in this session. So I'm up like what, $3,500 or $3,700 across the 5 Apex accounts. I'm up like $6,000 in the Lucid accounts. I did not trade the Lucid accounts during this session, right? I took those trades this morning on the Lucid accounts. Let's go. This is probably targeting the high of the week form, which is as of yesterday. Yeah. I mean, this is a daily candle. I mean, look at this daily candle, right? So it's literally closing it's gonna close more than likely as a bullish pin bar, which tells me that there's more upside probably to come, right? I wouldn't be surprised. DP, by chance, what specific indicator for the EMA are you using? Is this TradingView? Yes, it's TradingView. So it's literally just EMA. Just punch in EMA, and I use the 14 and the 50 EMA. So guys, if you have not hit the like button, please hit the like button. I would appreciate it if you have not subscribed to the channel. You know what to do. Let's go. Dr. Robert, underdunk, up 7K, calling it a day, starting the weekend early. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, right? So I was a little strategic today, and I kind of said it at the beginning of the stream. So I wasn't going to trade the Lucid accounts because I was up a pretty good amount on the Lucid 150K accounts. So I wasn't going to touch those. And I went ahead and activated 5 of the 150K PA Apex accounts, right? So I only took trades today in the Apex accounts during this session. Trump is talking again. Not surprising. D, how many years before you made breakthrough and started taking payouts? It took some. So it's a little weird because I traded stock options, I traded penny stocks, forex stocks, and then futures, right? So I mean, I made money basically trading everything except for penny stocks. I didn't make any money trading penny stocks. I mean, I made money trading options. I made money trading forex, and all of that stuff. And then obviously futures now. But it does take a while. So what I'll say is that don't get caught up in social media in regards to like seeing people. Everybody's at a different level right now with trading, right? So maybe you're pulling in a ton of profit and getting a ton of payouts, or maybe you're just learning how to trade, or everybody has their own different timetable. Don't try to force your timetable. Yes, Tradeovate is the platform. Trump can't, DMONEY can't catch a break with Trump speaking. I know. I'm telling you. I'm telling you guys. PW slid Trump some money. He was like, "Hey, do me a favor, right? Speak when this guy's on. Let's go." No, I'm just kidding. But he's literally been on, like, Trump's been on pretty much, I think every day except for like Monday. It's crazy. So that's why, guys, like, I'm cautious of that. And I know that, maybe that's not, I had a guy, I think yesterday, he was saying that, he took 32 trades. Like, when you're if you're trading during the time that Trump is speaking, you're basically taking a news trade. That's my thought process. So I have no interest in that. So I'll try to be a little bit more reserved. So Viv, for short, how does one get their question answered? What's your question? Sorry if I missed it in the chat. There's a lot going on in the chat, right? So did you have a question that I missed and I didn't answer? Andres, what's the max points of a stop loss you allowed? That depends on the trade, and it depends on the time frame that I'm taking the trade off of. So today, if you guys notice, like, my stop loss was not more than like 25 points, 25 points tops. Born to win. Let's go, peeps. Let's smash the like button. Let's hit 1,000 likes. Yeah, guys, if you haven't hit the like button, please do. We got over 1,500 people watching, so please hit the like button. I would appreciate that. Coach Feb Trades got out with 1,300. Thanks, D. Hey, you did all the work, right? I say that all the time, guys. Like, I'm just calling out what I see on the charts, and I'm taking trades based off of what I see, but I'm not clicking buy or sell for you, right? So you did the work. Congrats. Henry Ma, are you trading on demo account? I'm actually trading on 5 funded Apex accounts, 150K accounts, and I'm also trading Lucid accounts, straight to funded accounts, 5. So I'm trading, basically I'm trading 10 funded accounts at this point. Jose logging off, CUD money. Hey, have a good weekend, man. Rod, do you have a channel of your own? No, I do not. So I'm actually, I have a YouTube channel, yes, but I'm not active on that channel. So if you want to catch me, you can catch me here on PW's YouTube channel. So I stream every day, Monday through Friday, power hour included. So 1:30 to 4, which is the stream that you're on, right? And then next week, I'm going to be streaming in the morning from 9 o'clock to probably 11 or 11:30. And then I'll come back and do the afternoon stream from 1:30 to 4. Let's go. Mila, what's up? How many contracts did you play with that last trade? Was it 10 minis per PA funded? Yeah, roughly. So typically I'll trade 1 to 2 contracts per account. It just depends. DMC trading. Great trading today, D-Money. See you next week. Hey, have a good weekend. So guys, yeah, if you haven't hit the like button, please do. I don't look at the likes. I go back and watch the streams like afterwards, like just trying to get better, critiquing myself and like stuff like that, but I don't watch the likes. So if you haven't hit the likes, please do. Really rich. D-Money, can we get back charts, black charts and white candles? That would be a negative. So guys, I'm gonna trade how I trade, right? That includes my trading setup, my, you know, how I have my chart. That's a personal thing, right? Your chart looks how your chart looks. There's no right or wrong. So how did I get in touch with Kevin? Hey D-Money, how did you get in touch with Patrick? I sent an email because at the time they had traders into the BDH and I was interested and I sent an email, right? And I was offered a full-time position, so a full-time job, so. All right, this is a good question. D-Money, how did you forge your psychology after strategy seems this is the next tough hurdle? Yeah, so it takes time, it takes losses, and wanting to get better, to be honest. That's what worked for me. Just kind of going back and looking at trades, and I'm open with that the reason why I started using the higher time frame, the 1 hour chart and the 4 hour chart, is because if I was getting into a short, as an example, on like the 5-minute chart, looking back, like, and I'm wondering like, why would I lose a trade? And it would be because maybe it's at the close of a 1 hour candle and price is starting to reject and go back the opposite direction, forming a wick, right? So it just little stuff like that you pick up on. So I think just chart time, being in front of the charts more, you're gonna learn through losses. So I would say that losses actually help mold you as well. But this is like a profession, right? If you want to be a full-time trader or whatever the case may be, or a profitable trader, like this is one of those things where failure, like losing a trade doesn't mean that you're a bad trader, right? Maybe your strategy just didn't work out that time. Like you guys saw how I closed out a trade earlier that didn't work, right? But then the next trade worked out, right? Or maybe I closed the trade earlier and it went deeper in profit if I would have held it. But that's trading, right? So just learning from your mistakes and trying to have a routine and sticking to it. Discipline sounds easy, but it's actually hard in trading. It's something that takes time to get, because maybe you're frustrated, right? Maybe you've been trading for an hour and naturally you're gonna feel like you have to pay yourself. That's the issue that I struggle with a lot, right? When I first started trading, it's like, oh, I gotta pay myself. I'm in front of the charts, right? I deserve to be paid, but it doesn't work like that. As a newbie, watching you guys stay calm and patient helps me stay patient too, and stops me from clicking and being reckless. Yeah, I mean, that's why, guys, like I have to stick to my routine, right? Because if I'm just clicking and buying and selling on every candle, that's not gonna work out well. So $25,000 retest coming. Yeah, I mean, we're not far away from it, right? I mean, even if I map it out on the chart, this 25 area, I mean, we're right at it, right? So that's why you have to be kind of cautious. So, all right, so this 30-minute candle is gonna close, and this is a 30-minute chart, right? So you got a top wick that's forming, right? That's already formed. It's roughly 25 points, and there's a small bottom wick. A higher high was put in, but you didn't have a huge retest to the downside. So that's why, like, at some point you have to be content if you're in profit. And we're also on a 30-minute chart, just to give you kind of like what I'm looking at. Price is currently 143 points away from the EMA, from the closest EMA, which is the 14 EMA, right? So you have to kind of be aware of that, right? It's a Friday. Price had some crazy moves. Nothing wrong with bagging some profit. Ghost Trader, what time frame do I use to place trades? Typically, it's the I use the 1 hour and 4 hour chart for a bias, and then I go down to the 5-minute chart typically. But I do take trades off the 1 hour. It just depends on the setup. All right, somebody said my chart's not moving. I can literally see it moving on the screen. So is it not? Is it not moving? Do you guys see the chart moving? Oh, you see it. Okay. All right, cool. I was gonna get worried there. Can you chart show your entries and exits? Yeah, I'll make sure that I put that on. But I'm literally calling out my trades. I'm saying, right? Like I'm literally saying like, hey, I'm in a buy. My stop loss is XYZ. I'm looking for this area, and then I'm literally flipping to the screen, right? So what happens is, like, it's kind of weird because when I trade at home, like I don't have that on. I don't have on like the arrows or anything because I don't trade like that. But I have to remember to put it on when I'm on the stream. So I'll work on that. But I literally call it out, guys. So. Do you consider the 1 hour candle from pre-market for an RTH morning trade setup? No, I don't. Chris, it announces ordered filled. Yeah, like literally, if you guys listen, like, all right, it literally says when I'm in a trade, so. How long do I trade every day? It just depends on the setup. This session is you know, for me, typically it's till about 4 o'clock in the morning. So I'm looking for volume, right? I want to trade when there's volatility in the market. So this is currently power hour, but I mean, I took multiple trades, right? I mean, you guys already saw that. So, and then now price kind of like consolidated in this area on the 5-minute chart, and now it's retesting the EMA again, right? So I'm not, you know, we're kind of stuck in this range. We're right back in this range. So there's not much going on right now. all right, so Mio, so when did you 30, 40 point moves from 5 to 12? What's the catalyst? Like, I'm not sure on that question what you're referring to. I do see we were rejecting the 14 EMA, right? So it's gonna be interesting to see if this 5-minute candle closes below. This is the open of the new 30-minute candle. You don't have a top wick. So for bulls short term, for me, the way that I trade, price needs to hold that 995 level if there's going to be more upside, right? Because if it puts in a lower low below the low of the previous 30-minute candle, then I don't want to be in buys, right? If I was looking to enter. But you don't have a wick on the top side, the top portion of the candle, there's pretty much no top wick. So it's kind of hanging out in this 30-point area. Biggest losses and profits, guys. I've blown plenty of accounts. I've had listen, I've had accounts $200, $300 away from payout, and I've blown accounts, right? Because I guess it's more of like a mental thing. You're so worried about the payout versus trading. So I'll never shy away from like sharing that stuff with you guys because it happens, right? So don't think that it's like I said. Once you're funded, that's when the party starts. If you're passing an eval, right? Like that's when it's like real. You know, but the goal is to get the accounts to pay out. Nothing matters, right? Unless you're getting a payout on an account. But I've done, guys. I've done. I've had plenty of stupid mistakes, right? So I'm not perfect either. So the only thing I'm doing is trying to get better as a trader by leveraging like the higher time frame and all that stuff to increase my win rate. And that's been working for me, right? So that's why I stick with it. So right now price is doing a heavier retest. No wick on the top candle, but 15-minute chart, the 14 EMA is at 24,951 and a higher high was put in. So are we going to hold this area? And when I say area, I'm basically saying like, is price going to hold this area or is it going to reject down to the EMA, right? Which is at 24,952. A lot of times you'll get some kind of reaction because a higher high was put in. So you know, a lot of times you'll get some kind of reaction from this little gray box that I put on the screen. I passed basically every eval and just destroyed the funded. So I've been there, but yeah, notice this reaction, right? Kind of like what I was talking about. It's like a 17, 18 point reaction. I've done that plenty of times. Yep, there's the reaction back up, right? So 20 points. All right, so if you look to the left, the last time price was in this area, we had a reaction to the upside, right? So that's why I was kind of saying that. Exactly, 1 hour bottom wick forming. Yeah, exactly. So it takes like a little work, like practice, right? Like once you kind of start seeing like these setups, it's just chart time and they happen over and over. They don't happen on every single candle, obviously, right? I wish it was that easy, but you kind of get an idea of what you're looking for. Ever since I blew my first PA, I've been chasing. Feels like I lost so much time. It's definitely a mind game. Yeah, it's a mental thing. Because, all right, so when you think about trading, like trading is the only like occupation, to be honest, like if you really think about it, it's like one of those occupations where it's you against you. Like it's not you against the market. You're battling yourself. You're not battling the market. Like you might think that you're battling the market or the market, oh, the market's rigged, like whatever, right? Like like our job as a trader is basically to have a strategy, like the way I look at it, right? I feel like my job is to have a trading strategy, stick to the strategy, be disciplined, and know where I measure, have a measured stop loss. If I can do that, then I gotta let the trade play out. Not gonna be right all the time, but at least I had a strategy, right, going into a trade, and I let the chips fall where they fall. So Jay, why do I use the 14 EMA? It's just strictly a preference. There's no right or wrong, right? Ken Henry, first day here for me. Are you streaming daily? What time? Yeah, so I was granted the opportunity by PW to have my own show. This is the DMONEY show, and it streams daily from Monday through Friday from 1:30 p.m. Eastern until 4 p.m. Next week, I'm also going to be streaming the US session, so I'll be streaming at 9 o'clock to probably like 11 or 11:30, and then I'll come back and do the 1:30 to 4 session next week. How many evals have I blown? I've blown a ton of evals, guys. So Christopher Weatherhog, hey DMONEY, great work. My question is, do you strictly use prop firms to trade? So right now I'm only leveraging prop firms. Correct. Chris, excited to see how you trade New York session. Yeah, so I was with PW I think for like 3 weeks trading the US session. So I'll be I'll be trading that next week, and I can tell you right now, I'll be looking for hopefully some good volatility, and I use the 5-minute opening range setup, so I'll be looking for that. And then obviously the 10 o'clock candle, which is the opening of the new 4-hour candle for that session, so I'll be looking at that as well, right? And the 1 hour. So, but the good thing about the US session is that you get a lot more volatility, so should be some, hopefully I'm hoping for some great movement. What DMONEY, what setup would you like to see to take a trade right now? Well, price is kind of stuck in a range, right? So we've been stuck in this range. Right? We're consolidating. Like price is kind of stuck here, right? So the overall trend right now, it is bullish. And we're getting a reaction off of this level, this like 980 level, because the last time we were here, we had a reaction back to the upside, right? So if I was looking to get long, I probably would have been long already. I'm just not kind of interested in chasing something that, based off the time. Trump, or, somebody was saying that Trump was speaking again or something like that a little bit earlier, but I don't think he's on right now. I just looked at the monitor behind me. I don't see him there. So, yeah, I would be cautious. I mean, we just dipped below the 14 EMA. So if I was in a buy, me personally, my stop loss will be below this 984 level, because if we take that low out, we're probably headed to the 50 EMA on the 5-minute chart, which is 24,938. So, but right now we're just kind of consolidating. Guys, if you have not hit the like button, please hit the like button. We got like 1,338 people watching right now, right? So if you have not hit the like button, please do. If you have not subscribed to the channel, I would appreciate it. Mucho gracias. Robert Bentley, I'm looking forward to passing my evaluations with you next week. So like I said, guys, I've gotten a lot of comments in my DMs on Twitter and stuff like that. And, oh, I got a payout, or, You know, I just passed my eval. Like at the end of the day, you guys are doing the work, right? I'm not trading for you guys. I'm literally just calling out what I see on the chart and why I'm taking a trade. That's it. Where am I based? I'm actually based in South Florida, Fort Lauderdale area. LOL Trump again, man. I don't know what, you know, but what I will say, I am like content because, you know, I haven't had it, to be honest, this week has been a really good week. I haven't had a losing day, so I'm green on the week. You know, I've took a few losing trades here and there, but overall I'm pretty happy with how I traded this week, right? Despite Trump speaking, so you're a calm voice that enables us. How far am I from PW? Well, PW is in California right now. I think he's headed to Mexico, right? So he'll be in Mexico next week, if that's what you're referring to. If you're saying that, are you referring to that or are you referring to the BDH? So if you're referring to the BDH, I'm not far, right? I'm literally probably 15 minutes, not even. Did I live in Florida before the BDH? Yes. D-Money, what's the biggest thing that helped you in your trading besides the larger time frames? So cutting off social media and not worried about people posting profits on social media, right? Because like I said earlier, it's you against you, right? You're not competing against Joe Blow down the street, right? Like you're not. You're competing against yourself. And your timetable might be different from the trader that you're watching on social media, right? Like as far as, you know, how long have they been trading for? Maybe you just started trading and that person's been trading for years and they've already went through the fire, right? Trading live. So what I will say, like trading live, like, you know, is transparent because, you know, if you're showing your losses, right? So like you guys saw, like, I closed the trade out, right? I mean, hey, it happens, right? But that doesn't mean that you're going to be red on the day. Like you can re-enter if you're confident on your setup. So, but losses are going to happen. But I would say don't worry about what everybody else is making. Like, you know, your job is to better yourself. Dream job and short commute. Can't beat that with a bat. Congrats again, brother. All wins. Hey, Russell, I appreciate that. What's my main source of information for daily trade? Yeah, I map out. So I kind of mentioned it earlier. So if you go to the, let me just get this line off because that was the, all right. So when I start my trading day off, I basically, this is the daily chart. I just map out the previous day's high and low, right? I look at it and I see if price was bullish or bearish. And I noticed, like, we're kind of stuck in a range, right? Price has been, you know, it's put in a high and drop down and retest, put in a low, push back up, right? So we're kind of stuck in a range. So I noticed that, but then I go down to the higher time frame. So I'm looking at the 4-hour chart. All right, so this 4-hour candle that closed at 2 o'clock, it closed above both EMAs, right? And it had a long wick at the bottom. So that for me is bullish, and I would only be looking for buys on the lower time frame, right? Because if price closed above the 14 and the 50 EMA on the higher time frame, I'm not interested in looking for shorts. I'm looking for buys because that tells me on the higher time frame that there's strength, that buyers are present, right? So all I'm doing is I'm going down to the lower time frame and I'm waiting for price to basically respect the 14 and the 50 EMA. And I'm trying to join the trend to the upside. I'm basically trying to follow what the price is doing on the higher time frame on the lower time frame. Do I use any media outlets to keep you informed about the market? I mean, with Trump speaking, I'll check out CNBC, you know, just to kind of get a sentiment of what the market's doing, whatever the case may be. But the market's been so volatile, right? So volatile that you basically just have to react based off price. That's the beauty of price action. Price action, you're reacting to what price does, right? So, because remember, news sometimes, it might be bearish news, or you might think it's bearish for the market, but the market actually pushes to the upside, right? Because a lot of times the market has already anticipated that that news was going to be bearish. Or maybe the news wasn't as bad as the market was expecting, right? So it'll push to the opposite direction. So just keep that in mind. DD Flips, D-Money, do I quit my 9 to 5? That's a personal decision, right? Like, I can't tell you to quit your 9 to 5, right? So I know PW talks about that a lot in regards to, you know, nothing wrong with keeping a job and trading part-time, like whatever the case may be, right? So yeah, Jamalette, that's the goal. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, right? I mean, if, like, I think you have to measure your success as a trader in regards to, like, okay, am I profitable? Have I gotten payouts? You know, how am I performing? I mean, that's going to be important, right? So, because if you haven't even gotten a payout yet and you're saying you're quitting your job, that's going to be a little tough. And trading is mental. So you're going to have that probably in the back of your mind every time you take a trade, because now you're like 1,000% depending on that income or that trade to work out. So you're sweating like every little movement. The sleeve DJ, if you want to be homeless, quit. One thing's for certain, right? Those bills are going to keep coming in. So all right, so Jar Banks, if you got a couple years savings and are averaging more than you need per month. Yeah, I mean, it's a personal thing. I mean, I think everybody would, you know, first off, you know, there's a lot of people. I mean, guys, like you're gonna see, right? Trading is it's personal, so it's a personal thing. Maybe you're gonna be the world's next best trader, right? Like who knows? I mean, the only thing is, what I'll say is that don't let outside noise impact you. If you have a dream for yourself and you have a vision and you want to make trading happen, like, you can make it happen, right? It's going to take a lot of work, and it's not always a straight line, right? Meaning that there's going to be ups and downs that come with trading, but don't let somebody tell you you can't do it. $350 algo coming. D-Money, the wicks, if they're on one side, indicates which way the price action is likely to go, if above or below the EMAs. So I just look at the higher time frame, and like I was kind of showing that example on the higher time frame, the 4-hour chart pretty much closed like super bullish with a long wick at the bottom, right? This is the 4-hour chart. It's above both of the EMAs. So for me, I'm only looking for buys, right, on the lower time frame. I wanted a retest. If you remember me kind of saying that at the beginning of the stream, I wanted a retest, you know, back below, you know, back to the EMAs, and it pretty much it shot straight up, right? So that's why when I end up taking a buy, my stop was below the previous candle's wick. I had to kind of play it by ear, right? A little bit. I had to adjust it a little bit. But this setup right here was the perfect, like, example of the EMA retest, right? So price put in a higher high. It came back down. It did a retest. So I'm trying to get in when I see that as close as I can to the EMA, to 14 EMA, right? My stop below it. I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, anticipating more upside. Right now, we're kind of like stuck in this range again, right? Price is literally consolidating. So Skeletor 619, have I ever got into the market right after the 4-hour close? So you're saying like the close of a 4-hour candle? Yeah, I mean, it depends. Typically not, to be honest. I'll wait for the first 5-minute candle to kind of open up and try to give me a sense of what the market's doing. Trent, I could be D-Money's assistant. Stocks have shrugged off all the bank fears. Maybe we do continue to boom higher. Yeah, like who knows, right? That's why for me, what I've learned is not to get so caught up. You know, I'm gonna trade. I try to trade every day based off what the market's giving me, based off price action. Because like I said, a lot of times, like, so if I came into today as an example, right, and I was like super bearish because of that news, that bank news, then I would only be looking for shorts today. And look how that played out, right? So Hannon, missed today's show. Did you take any trades today? Yes, I took multiple trades. All right, guys. So I see Ginger in the chat. What up? So guys, if you have not hit the like button, please hit the like button, guys. I'm trying to get to 1,000 likes. PW said that I will not have a job if I can't get 1,000 likes. And I don't know the count on the likes, guys, because I don't see them. So please do me a solid and hit the like button, guys. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Let's go. All right, we're at 973, guys, and we got 1,300 people watching. So please hit the like button. I'm trying to stay employed to get the monies. Josh Garcia just hit 1,000. Nice. That boy good. That boy good. Yeah, so I'm excited for next week, guys. So I think I'm looking forward to the AM session. You know, like I said, I will be trading the AM session next week. So we streaming at 9 a.m. Monday through Friday, and then I'll also stream 1:30 to 4, right? So I have a break in between, probably stream to like 9 a.m. Eastern Standard to probably 11 or 11:30. And then yeah, I'll be back at 9. I'll be back at 1:30 to 4. So, but this price action is promising. Like I'm excited for it. I like how this current daily candle, this is the daily chart. I'm loving how this daily candle is closing, because that for me tells me that there's more upside potential, because it's almost closing like as a bullish pin bar. And I'm not saying that we won't get a retest down, right? Because the size of this current daily candle's wick on the bottom is actually 372 points, right? So I'm not saying that we won't get a retest to the downside, but overall for me, if this daily candle closes how it's looking right now, it buys, more buying pressure could be coming, right? D-Money, you are the money. Hey, I appreciate that. Like I said, I'm humble, guys. Like I honestly am. I don't take anything for granted. So Just trying to get better. Jerome, I dropped Jerome off at the bus station last night, guys. He had to get back to his baby mama, so. I don't like yesterday's candle. Took out previous day low and previous day. Well, okay, previous day low and close inside. Haven't seen that in years. Yeah, you know, remember, it's like one of those things where that's why I'm not getting married to trades. If I don't like the price action, especially if I'm on the 5-minute chart, I'm going to close it because I know that there might be, you know, potentially another opportunity, right? So I took, what, I think like 3 trades in this session. So yesterday was a little different, right? Yesterday I didn't like what I was seeing with Trump speaking, so I only took 1 trade. But I'm pretty much averaging, I think, in this session so far, right? Over the course of this week, I think I took 2 trades every day. It's up minimum. It's up for yesterday. Yesterday was a little slow, so. Baby, yeah, we're over 1,000 likes. I know that for sure. So I appreciate the support. All right, do you usually go for a 1-to-1 risk reward, or is your take profit solely based on price action? Yeah, I don't necessarily map out a 1-to-1. I'm not like a 1-to-1, 1-to-2 guy, to be honest. I'm more about price action. I let price action kind of dictate for me what I'm gonna do with my profit target. And you guys have probably seen that. Like if you've been tuning into the stream for a few, you know, at least a few times, like I don't have an issue taking profit. Like I'm gonna take the profit, right? So all right, so this is just recap these accounts, right? So these are the opened these accounts, activated these accounts today, right? These are PAs, Apex PAs. So been kind of I'm switching back and forth between the Lucid accounts. I took trades today this morning actually on the Lucid accounts. I'm up like 7,000 on the Lucid accounts, and I'm up like 3,600 on these Apex accounts, right? So first day trading these today, so trying to run them up. Let's go. So that's like a $10,000 day, guys. So I think this is the biggest day so far for me, right? Definitely this week. Josh Garcia, your Apex PA accounts, are they 150Ks or 50s? No, they're 150K accounts. Trading BDH Master, nice profit, D-Money. Hey, I appreciate that. Haha, baby, my PW voice, that boy good. That boy good. Why do you prefer the use of, so Tom Finn 04, yeah, I actually use the 14 and 50 EMA. So I don't use the 5 and 13 or 15 and 50. Yeah, I use the 14 and 50 EMA. It's just a preference thing. I don't, you know, I'm not knocking any other EMAs. I don't believe that there's one that's better than the other one. I'm just comfortable using the 14 and the 50 because I've been using those 2 EMAs for years. They were actually on my chart when I first started trading, and I took them off and then I put them back. So that's what I stick with. D, on Apex, can I start out with just one account? Oh, of course. Yeah, you don't have to have multiple accounts. You can start with one account. What sports do I play? Who is Jukes? I used to play I mean, I don't really play sports anymore. I want to get back. I want to start balling again, playing some basketball. So try to hopefully get that going. And I mean, that's pretty much it. So yes, I use a trade copier. Tradeovate trade copier. Does Apex have a monthly fee? So they actually had, well, I mean, in full transparency, right? So the $85 lifetime PA fee is still active right now, because when I logged in today to activate those accounts this morning, it was active, right? So I pay $85 per account to activate. So I'm not sure how, I'm honestly not sure how long that's gonna last. But typically, if you don't sign up for the lifetime, it's like $105, I think, monthly. So Tom TR, next week co-host gonna be Pootie Tang. Level 2, do I like Lucid straight to fund it better than other firms? I mean, I like that there's no, so remember, these are straight to funded, right? So that's one of the pluses, is that you don't have to pass an eval. So I like that. And then they also have, I mean, they do have a daily loss limit, which is fine, because that kind of helps you as well be more disciplined. Edgar, this was a great week with PW plus DMONEY plus Ginger. Thanks, BDH. Hey, we try, you know? All right, guys. So I'm gonna wrap it. I'm gonna wrap up and get ready for the weekend, right? So I appreciate you guys tuning in. This was my first week solo in the BDH, first week of the DMONEY show. So I'm super humbled by the support that you guys have given me. Right? I'm seeing the views for the show. I'm like on cloud 9, right? So I'm super humble, guys. I can't say thank you enough. And, you know, excited to keep it going, right? So hey, DMONEY, after you pass your eval, what's the daily drawdown? My buddy had Apex after pass eval, dipped under 25K and it was liquidated. Thoughts? So it depends on your account size. These are 150K accounts. The trailing drawdown on a 150K account with Apex is $5,000, right? So the smaller the account, the smaller the drawdown. I think the 1500, I'm sorry, I think the 25K account has $1,500 of trailing drawdown, right? So maybe that's why. Don't hate on the Eagles, man. LOL. Thanks for all you do. Hey, I appreciate you guys, right? So tune in next week, guys. Like I said, start Monday. I'll be live streaming in the morning and then also the afternoon session, right? So make some more monies. I'll catch you guys on Monday.